Alright guys, so before we move on, I want to round some edges and add a couple intersections in this city. But before that, I wanted to reiterate exactly my intentions of this city. Although, as you notice, the city has been granted 7.5 million, and it's had a couple funds taken out. I do intend fully, and mark my words, on keeping this city self-sustaining. I mean, we have a 2K deficit that should be real easy to recover from, but I do want to take my time and go through the course of the regular growth. I don't want to rely on, this big figure that has been sent over. I don't want to fake it by any means. I want the city to have a positive income through the whole process, or at least as close as possible. It would be nice if I could balance the expenses with the growth, instead of just going completely all out. Transportation wise, I might just go completely all out and take the hit on that expenses wise, but hopefully the growth of the city can make up for that, and maybe we'll add some tourism in the process. Speaking of adding tourism, I did say that we were potentially all set with town hall expansions, but I am not sure if we added tourism within one of the two cities there. We'll just have to see. We can't upgrade it now, so I can't tell you until the time comes, because honestly, I don't remember if I added a tourism add-on. Maybe you guys remember, but I don't remember. With that, we will move on and square up my overall plan of the road routing, because actually I did not add a couple things that I intended to in the last video. The first being, I wanted to have 2 outlets from this general area into our commercial, and we only have 1, so we have to add that, and this would be the perfect spot in my opinion. We gotta get a good grid. Oh, it's not working. It will work though. We'll get it to work. We'll do it right off of this intersection. I mean, there'll be just a small wasted space because the grid comes there. To the left of this point is where I'm absolutely worried about. To the right, I'm not so much, because I can see already that from this point we should have plenty of growth potential in this small area. Another key area I was worried about was connecting some of our residential to commercial without the people coming down here, and also without our commercial and residential bumping in too deep. So we'll take care of that. We'll have to draw some guidelines. These will get deleted eventually, but we'll draw some guidelines to work off of. That one in particular. We are paused, by the way. Not that it matters. I mean, there's only a couple spots that helped us establish our town hall, but this will inevitably draw our intersection that I would like to make. Yeah, we'll take this one right here. Right? Is it too close to the bottom? No. It's not too close to the top. Maybe we could take this one just to ensure the traffic doesn't draw down to make the establishment between areas, because we want to keep this as clear as possible for the people coming in. We don't want our inner city mingle to come down here by any means, so I think we'll make this intersection here. I wish we had a guideline on this side. You know what we can do, and just gamble on it, and we'll fix it later if we have to. We can shoot a straight line across from here. It would help if we were in the straight line mode. Oh no, it's not gonna help us. I was hoping the grid would lock when I was drawing it in straight line, but that's not a straight line, so the grid's not, unfortunately, locking. See, I mean, it locks right there, but how straight is that? It's gonna have to be straight enough, right? I just hope that all the blocks will indeed make complete zones and not like full and then a partial, but whatever. We do need that intersection, I do feel. Residential, commercial. We could probably could have kept that straight through. So it wants to lock right there. I think we'll choose that. Before we did that, we probably should have. I wanted to actually situate 1, 2, and 3, and potentially 4. It's risky because I don't want to shade it from one to the other. Let's see what we get just by this initial one. We're gonna hit the J tool so to make it curved. Yeah, you know what? If we draw that, the left side's not gonna it's not gonna get full growth potential, but possibly we can continue to fix as we go. Let's see. Yeah, we're just gonna do it. Initially I wanted to have some space over here, but I think overall it's really gonna matter when it comes to zoning over here. This is gonna be commercial, but I'm just getting a gauge. It looks like we'll get full growth, not up here, but from this point out we should get full growth on both sides. So if we continue that pattern, I do want to fix this too. That's rather annoying. I was just shooting a ground plan before, whereas now I can actually look and fix the potential problems that might arise later. It's better to deal with it now than later, in my opinion. It would be nice if we could straight shot that through roads overlapping. So it's this one right here that's really causing us the issue, I think. We'll just cut that down too. And like before, you know, I'm really expending more resources than I should be. But hey, it is what it is, right? I think we can connect that roundwise. It locks right there, but that's not where I want it. I want it in here. That's a nice straight shot. Let's see if we can get a closure in here. Maybe I don't know if that's gonna close. We'll have to see. Yeah. So I'm okay with that. And from the looks of it, we have more than enough room to get full growth potential on both sides. We will continue to attempt to fix the rest. Starting with this backside, we're going to hit the J tool, which is curved road, but we got to get rid of this a little bit. So bear with me. I apologize for reiterating some of what we've already started, but I think in the end it will benefit the city. Not if we do that. Let's go with this first. We're going to use the U tool, and the U pretty much goes along the line of the grid no matter what. We'll do the same here, starting here. And we'll use the J tool to complete this corner, hopefully. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna take a hit in this area no matter what, and that's the downfall to having a not grid. I'm gonna say it right now. I hate having a grid city, and we could just grid the whole city and still keep with our main traffic flow intentions. But I absolutely hate going on grid. I think it's so unnatural looking. Yeah. So if you look at the white line, the grid there on the left, we'll cover full growth potential on both sides all the way through. Maybe not so much in here until this point, unfortunately, but that's okay. So we're gonna hit our straight tool after we hit road. We'll hit the straight tool. Sorry, I've actually had quite a few beers today. I don't know if you could tell, but I can tell. Anyway, straight tool to draw a straight line, but it's not locking, unfortunately, because there's no grid there, but that looks eyeball-ish, relatively close to straight. And we'll continue this, probably right there. Bear with me here a second. I'm sorry, I gotta try to set some sort of time figure, trying to figure out how far we've gone through already. We're gonna say we're just about 12 minutes through. Whether I'm right or not, we'll only tell in time. But alright, so we've connected this area that's horizontally with this area. We should probably draw a line through here, only so that this doesn't have to go all the way down to here and disrupt this traffic to get to over here, if you get what I'm saying. But that looks like it's in a bad spot. I'm willing to take the hit up here, but I'm not willing to take the hit down there. So we will actually attempt to get a better spot, which appears to be this one right here. So these two blocks should grow completely perfectly at full density. So yeah, I mean, I do believe from what I intended in my mind, this should accomplish everything that I set out for. Yeah, so we have to start zoning. Before we start zoning, I do want to set up that mass transit, like I mentioned. And for streetcars, I think I'm going to use this area back here to fulfill streetcars, and I'm going to save this area for the other streetcar depots. Yeah. So I know I haven't developed the city yet at all, and that will come, and hopefully we will round out the deficit. But I do want to get the streetcars going, as well as the buses and our safety. We're not going to jump right into the safety department buildings. We'll start out slow, and I'll be honest with you, we might not have the safety department things until late in the game, other than the police, because tourism and gambling brings the threat of crime. So we will definitely have our precinct, but along the lines of health and fire, we could go a little health and fire on this side, a little health and fire on this side, just to kind of split it in two. I know it might be a waste of resources, but it's all about location and availability. You know, you don't want your health and fire to have to go from here all the way to here to complete its circuit, for that matter, whatever you want to call it. So I might go with the split thing, even though the resources might be wasted. I did get a comment in one of my prior videos about having 2 medical facilities across the map and not necessarily needing to. It was more about coverage than it was, you know, capacity. I wasn't thinking capacity at that time when I got that complaint. I was thinking more of area coverage, similar to prior SimCities, where the only thing you had to worry about was pretty much coverage and not capacity potential. Anyway, I'm not going to blabber on too much about that. Let's get some streetcar depots, and I'm going to try like hell to keep them away from the intersections. We'll see how that works, though. And you know, I'm drawing them all out now, even though we don't need them, and it's a waste of resources. But overall, I think the longer you have the potential for mass transit, the more it's used throughout the game. I don't know, that's just a superstition, maybe theory of my own. This will be a good series to test it out in. I might be going overboard on these, but to be quite honest with you, as long as they're not in a direct intersection, I'm not too concerned. That seems pretty good. I could put like one on this. No, I can't put it on the bridge anyway. I was thinking that maybe people could walk to it from onto the bridge, but apparently they can't. Alright, so we're gonna go with buses, and I'm not gonna do a municipal, whatever you want to call it, off the bat. I think eventually we might want one because it is a tourism city and we want to draw in every possible potential, whether it's sea, water, rail, or the municipal, which sends buses to other cities in the region. But for now, we're going to start with shuttle bus, simply because I just don't feel like it's necessary to go too crazy. Actually, I don't know if we want the buses that close. We could kind of put it here. That really cuts from our tourism potential, but at the same time, it's only that little corner. We'll have to keep an eye on the amount of bus lots. I mean, I could just bulk it right up right now, but I'm gonna settle with just 5 because it's unnecessary. Well, you know what? Screw it. We're just gonna go all out. Only because it's so hard. Because we're looking at like almost 6K in deficit. I really wanted to keep it balanced. We'll have to see how that goes. But I'm thinking with all the commercial and residential potential we have, I think we'll be able to hit the 6K mark. Especially if there's a high desirability because of the streetcars and the bus depots. I don't know if that comes into effect. Hopefully it does. We'll have to see. With that, next we will start thinking about our services. Right? Yeah. I'm gonna put a clinic here. And we'll do a clinic. I know it's very wasteful. You know what? We don't need to do it quite yet. We'll save this back strip for a police department, a fire department, and a clinic. We don't have to do it yet. We can wait till we're more squared off in expenses. But with that said, we do need a fire department. I'm thinking we can put it. Actually, this would probably be a really good spot. Put the fire department there. And we should really consider a precinct because of the crime potential. It's kind of a huge expenditure though, $1,700 an hour versus $400 an hour. So we'll start with just a simple police station. And I'm thinking we're gonna put the police station right in this corner. So we got fire, police, and clinic, and those are things that we are absolutely going to have to monitor and combat with additional facilities on this part for coverage alone. What else? I know we need to do parks, but I don't want to get into that until the next video, which will be focused mostly on zoning. We are still paused. I'm hoping that we can, I'm thinking before we unpause, we're going to be at an $8,500 an hour deficit. We might sit in the deficit for quite a bit while we're waiting to expand from low density to medium density. We could actually put the taxes down off the bat to 5%. Just to encourage growth and to set a precedence on what our deficit potentially will be in the long run. With all that said, I would say we covered quite a bit in this video. You know what we can do? We could, just before we wrap up, we could see about getting our ferry terminal locked down. We need a snap point. That means we need a road. I do want to hit up the eye. It doesn't want to lock in there because of the intersection. If I could get it going on this side, that would be great. Alright, let's see about that terminal. There's still no snap point. Looks like that's not going to be the optimal place for it. Unfortunately, I was hoping that road would have created a snap point, but it didn't. So we'll have to take it for what it is and build it elsewhere. Which, right here, is going to have to be the best spot. We'll connect it. Yeah, we're really racking up the debt. I'm almost confident that with a few tourism spots to start, we should really we should be fine overall. I'm gonna leave that with just one connection, and right off the bat we'll put the cruise ship gig in, because we are going to attempt on some early tourism. Not gambling quite yet, but tourism just to sustain some of our debt, because after all, it is a tourism city, right? Alright, so you heard the alarm, I'm sure. That means we've come to the end of this video, and hopefully we'll see you in the next. Thanks, guys.